Hello, good morning everybody. I hope you can see my screen, also hear my voice clearly. Today we'll start with the Euro USD, the chart which is on our screen now. Before I move on, I want to mention something which is very significant. If you are that person who trades gold, assuming you like trading golds and your trades run overnight, that is, you are able to hold your trades overnight. If you trade gold, silver, or any other CFDs, then you can now hold your trades over the night without being charged something called swap. So swap is basically the amount of money you are charged for holding trades overnight. With the new FreshForex offer, you can now hold your trades overnight without being charged any swap. This is our chart. We'll start off with this Euro USD. The only thing I can see here which is very significant, I think this is just developing now. We have a very good trend line, a very good resistance trend line. So what this trend line means is that as long as we have price not closing above it, we expect it to continue to the lower side. As it is now, there are chances we may see price continuing to the upper side. This is what will likely happen. We had a level here, support, there was a break below, it came back as a resistance, continued down, came back as a resistance, then we had this break above. As it is now, we expect price to go up to that resistance before it bounces off to the lower side, something like this. This is what may likely happen. The price will continue up. It may continue up to this resistance where we look for a sell, and if it bounces off from this level, we'll wait for a break below, retracement, then we pick another sell even lower. This is what we expect to happen ultimately. So I hope this is clear. This looks much better in my opinion. I'm basically looking for a sell or buy temporarily, but then if price comes back up to the trend line, which is this, then that will be a good place to sell from. We'll move forward. GBP USD. The red line we are seeing, that is the ask line. We are not going to use it, so I'll get rid of it first. This is 4 hours. Daily looks like we are supposed to buy, and I'm going to explain why. Look at this here. We had a resistance, the entire place, then there was a break, then an inside bar, followed by an engulfing candle. Then price continued up, it came back to the same point. After that, we are now seeing pin bars. This is a buy. This is a possible indication for a buy. And my opinion here is that you're supposed to look for a buy where the price is now up to somewhere around this point. The trend may be downwards, yes, but then from this is a very significant level. 1.2283 is a very significant level and could push price up to somewhere around this point here. And on the other side, should price fail to bounce off from this level and then instead it goes down, we'll simply wait for retracement before we pick a sell up to the next level, which is there. So overall, we look for a buy. That buy fails to mature up, we're going to sell it below 1.2283. That sell will push price up to 1.2032, which is here. So move forward. GBPUSD is a sell, is a buy. Euro USD is also a potential buy. So we move forward. USD JPY. USD JPY continue downwards, and let me see if this makes sense. This looks like some trend line, but definitely not a very good one. It's a trend line, yes, but it's not a very good one. We had this. So price so far bounced off from this level, it continued down. Somehow we are still to the lower side. So what this is a very good level where the price is now. It's a very significant support. This one, it's a very significant support, such that if price can successfully break below it within the course of the day, we'll simply wait for a retracement before we continue selling it even lower. So generally that's what we expect to happen for price to, it should break below clearly, then retrace back to the same level where we'll now pick a sell, expecting that sell to take price up to the next level, which is this. As I mentioned every day, don't overlook trend lines. Don't overlook trend lines. So even what seems to be useless as this would actually be the place where the price is reversing from. So we don't want to ignore this, yet it's the one that's being used. If price uses a level, normally that level is significant. We don't bounce off from anywhere. Have this, draw a line passing through that level so that we see that actually this is both a trend line, a diagonal trend line, and also a very good horizontal level. If price does not clearly descend below 107.13, then that will mean one thing: we are continuing to the lower side, upper side. But then if it breaks below and even sustains that breakout, that is, by the end of one day the price is still below 107.13, then we expect it to proceed up to 105.24, which is here. So this should be a sell around that point. If it closes below that level, we'll basically be looking for a sell up to the next level, which is the one at the bottom, which is this. So this is all about being patient. If you look at this chart and you want to trade it correctly, only wait for a buy signal within this zone, 107.13 to 107.04. If price does not bounce off and instead it closes below, then that's now a sell. We move forward to SP 500. This is SP 500. SP 500 continued massively to the lower side. So this, in my opinion, is now a sell. We actually expect some sell off to happen. We check forward, we expect price to proceed even lower. We had a very good trend line here, a very good resistance, sorry. We had a very good resistance where price went below, and then we also have this as a support. So what this simply means is, as long as the price remains below the upper zone, we expect it to go up to this level, this support, 2811.1. We expect price to proceed even lower. There's a level here where we broke below. So this should be the correct sell place. Look for a sell from around this point up to this support, and that means we'll sell it here. That should be the correct place to sell from. And since this is a sell, we also expect USD JPY to sell off. The two appears to be moving in the same direction. So when you'll be looking for a sell to sell SP 500 around 2895.2, also look for the same sell from USD JPY. The two appears to be moving in the same direction. So sell it from this point, have your stop loss above this candle which actually broke below here. This should be the stop loss. Then have a fast take profit here. If price goes below this level, then that will mean we are still looking for a sell up to the next levels. So we move forward, move to Brent oil. Brent oil is still bearish. The price continues to move downwards, and where the price is now, this is actually some daily support here. This is a very good daily support. We have that, and then you also have this resistance there. Then you also have that one. So the upper line is actually a very significant one, and then the lower one is equally significant. I'll draw this correctly so that we are able to see exactly whatever I'm saying. The entire place, which is this one, is actually a very good resistance from the daily. I've not looked at this like this some days ago. I didn't look at it like this, but this was a very significant level. We also have the lower one, which is equally significant, this one. Then we have another line at the bottom, which is this. So should price break below this level, which is, should it go below 57.13, then I'll simply wait for retracement before I pick a sell up to the next level, it's 50.63. So overall, we are looking for a sell on that one. We are looking for a sell on Brent oil. We are looking for a sell, but only if price goes below the level which I've mentioned. If price does not go below it and instead it bounces off to the upper side, then that will mean we are looking for a buy. As it is now, this is a sell, so you better be looking for sell positions. Be sure to look for sell orders, and we expect those sell to continue pushing price up to the next level, which is 50.63. So we move forward, we move to the last symbol. That should be gold, and gold is why I mentioned that you can now hold trades on gold without being charged swap, overnight swap. So gold, if you buy gold today and you're able to hold on to that trade up to the next day, you'll not be charged what is known as swap. That is a new offer from FreshForex. It started in September. It continues up to 11th of this month. So we have this level here. We have a very good support here, and then you also have this. We thought that this was a breakout to the lower side. Somehow the price pulled back up and even closed above the same place where I wanted to sell from. What this simply means is that we are now continuing to the upper side. This is simply what it means. We are now continuing to the upper side. As long as you have price remaining above this level here, expect it to go up to this point. In the forwards, the same place. So generally the break which you saw, which is this, is actually a false breakout. And as I mentioned in one of our webinars on false breakout, the best normally is to enter trades after the particular false breakout. So when price false breaks a level and then comes back above that level, buy immediately. In this case, this is a very good buy. There's a false break. Price needs to do this, needs to come back down, then spike up, then retrace back before we can expect another move to the ultimate upper side. So this will be a buy there. We'll also have a buy if price goes above the upper one, and I'm going to draw a zone in the entire place, which is this. So thank you very much, everybody. That should be the end of today's market overview. We meet again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you. See you.